We got to get that on a loop. Oh, I got to get that on a loop. I'll figure it out eventually. Yo, it's out of nowhere. We're behind the paywall and live tonight on patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show, and we're live for any members out there. There's a membership post. You can see the link, and I believe be able to watch us live if you have the membership post. If I did, where's Jake right there? Look at him. I might have did it wrong. If I did it wrong, I'm going to drop another one now because I might have done it wrong. I don't know. Is live. Members only. I think I did it right. I don't know, but join us live right now. It looks right? Okay. Looks right. All right. Everybody in the chat, right. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter because we're behind the paywall. I was going to say click the like button to get the algorithm up, but I just remembered that we're behind the paywall, and you know, being behind the paywall, you miss out on the algorithm possibly making this video get thousands of views, and you know, maybe some people would have dropped some big donos, maybe, but probably not. And you know, July's been rough, so put this back behind the paywall. Yeah. But we're behind the paywall tonight, so it'll be a little quiet night behind the paywall, you know, whatever. But I don't know, I had to do something because electricity is going to run out soon. Jake, you have a gigantic pecker. Are you aware of this?
Apparently not. You know, I
what?
In the complaints department. You know, I thought 9 inches was on the bigger side, but
oh no,
apparently not.
9, you're good. 9 is like,
yeah, if only, right? I still always crack up with the Hulk Hogan's penis is 10 inches. Terry Bollea's. Not so much.
Well, you know, I am one of the people that I sympathize with him on that. I understand what he's saying.
I get it entirely. He's got to make the gimmick larger than life. Yeah,
like, dude, it's Hulk Hogan. You think Bulk Hogan? You know, it's not going to be small.
Look at Dr. Disrespect. Same idea.
Yeah, it's ridiculous that you would be mad at Hogan, like, for that. It's like, come on, man. Exactly. Of course he has a huge boner. Like, he's whole friggin' Hulk Hogan, bro. Like, what?
And he's never touched steroids. Terry Bollea, on the other hand.
Yeah. See? Hogan's clean. Nice. He's an All-American. He's saying his prayers and eating his vitamins. And
Is there anything funnier, though, that just each week Hogan somehow tops another story just by lying about a previous story? And it just, like, he has that bit of creationism in him. And there's a few things.
So maybe he's Boogie.
That, you know, he's told some things that are crazy, you know, coincidences. Yeah, certainly. Like the, you know, Roddy Piper voicemail story. That's, you know, crazy stuff. But still, he goes on to explain everything. Like he was going to be the George Foreman grill and he was going to be in Metallica, you know, those famous ones. But then you hear like just the little things that he takes credit for. Somehow he now takes credit for the Montreal screw job. He takes credit for like finding people. He found Kevin Owens.
What?
He was like, oh, I was a big fan of Kevin Owens, even though he was already Kevin Steen wrestling for years and years before he was in NXT. He was like, I was the one that found him for NXT. Like,
oh my God.
He was undeveloped, like all this great stuff. So Hogan somehow just never knows when to shut up or say enough's enough. And that's the thing. I don't think he realizes he's lying. I think he just believes his stories. And that's the thing. Because he is so fervent and just believable about it. Like it really happened. And that's the scary part. Bischoff, though, is not much better. I finished the Who Killed WCW 4-episode extravaganza, and a lot of revisionist history on there. They seem to want to blame the merger, the AOL merger, as like this tidal wave that came in and really shook them up. But they were already on a downhill trend long before the merger. But
it hurt them. It did, but it's not the full reason. Right.
No, it's really not. And that's how they tried to phrase a lot of it. And they tried to make Bischoff just seem like, you know, right guy, wrong time kind of thing. And I mean, there's a lot of fallacies in it, a lot of crazy stretches of the truth, but it was a fun watch. You know, it is still interesting to see other people's perspective and scenarios. So, I don't know. It's it was interesting. So a lot of, like I
Well,
said, a lot of lies, but it again, it kind of went with the narrative.
I want to explain the Hogan thing real quickly. Go back to the Hogan thing real quickly. I think what happens is this. I think back in the day, the guy lied all the time, right? And you couldn't prove anything. You couldn't prove things. People didn't know everything, anything in some cases. And now he does the same thing, but he doesn't realize not only do all the fans know everything, but like they can find it out right away. And when he says things, back in the day, if he said something somewhere, nobody would really hear about it. You know who would hear about it is like maybe Jim Cornette. And Jim Cornette would be like, fucking Hulk Hogan fucking told a lie about this bullshit. And he said this in the fucking Weekend Times. He said some bullshit. But no average person was hearing Hogan lie about shit. So Hogan, it's weird. Hogan would go around and do radio. He could do radio in Houston, Texas. And he could say, well, brother, I did this, brother, and that, brother. And yeah, the local people hear what he says on the radio, but that's it. It doesn't become like a viral thing to the whole wrestling community. And then the whole wrestling community, like the 20% of the wrestling community that know Hulk Hogan's lying are there to call it out and laugh at it and mention it and be like, what the fuck's he talking about? But when he did radio gigs back in the day, you know, nobody could really call it out because it was done locally and some local people heard it. And yeah, maybe 5 or 10 people were listening and they went, what was he talking about? What a liar. You know, but everybody else went, wow, I never knew that, and they don't know.
And here's the thing: a lot of times he says something, and there is like a fragment of it,
right?
Based
like
in
he was
reality.
gonna
So
the
Hogan
bassist thing.
Like,
the bassist
yeah,
thing.
like he goes ahead.
Metallica lost their
thing.
bassist. He thought about trying out. Now, Jake, does it mean he thought about trying out? Someone told him that he could try out? Did he try out? I don't know which one of those. I bet he just thought about it, or he thought about how he could have, and now that became I was going to be a Metallica.
Somebody in the locker room says, "Hey, you know what? I got an idea for you." You know, simple like that. Didn't you used to play bass, Hogan? Well, guess what? Did you hear what happened? Simple thing. Hogan always claims that he was the one that basically not revolutionized or you know, basically made it a common thing for theme music, but he's like, I am the first one to have, you know, entrance music as a wrestler. No one came out to music until Eye of the Tiger in '82. And it's like, what about Gorgeous George, you know, Pomp and Circumstance in the 1940s? It's like, so going through Hogan's like 25 top lies, it's some of them are just, he said he partied with John Belushi after WrestleMania 2, but he died in 82 and WrestleMania 2 was in 86. So, you know, things like that.
It was Jim Belushi, Jake. He didn't, you know, come on.
And then he said he claims Rolling Stones and Lars Ulrich of Metallica both wanted him as their bass player. So also the Rolling Stones, they wanted him to play bass too.
Okay. I you know what I think?
You know,
I think one night, you know, it's like I believe that maybe like Mick Jagger or somebody was like, I heard you play bass, you know, and he was like, yeah, and he's like, you should play one night with us or something like that. I could believe that. Now Metallica, I think is no chance that Hogan was ever going to be considered for Metallica or that Metallica even knew that he played bass.
Absolutely.
But I bet he thought about it or a friend told him maybe. Yes, okay, that's about it. But who knows? Shout out to all the members.
Claims he's the first wrestler responsible for ever selling merchandise. Sorry, I knocked off your shout out there, but
no, I was just you know, loving the members and thank you guys. It's not even AEW's not even over yet. We got 19 people in here behind the paywall, which is nice. So
we have the
nice.
The current main event. You know, we see Mariah May and Willow Nightingale going up against each other. So I know we're joking about Hogan, but you didn't see AEW tonight.
No.
And as much as my attention was with a large man elsewhere, I could not help but die laughing at this moment. And it was supposed to be taken serious. So I tried to have you cue it up. I don't know how close you could be.
I don't have it yet, but I'll have it in a minute. It's 1:15, you said, right?
Yep, 1:15:45, I think it was. So
I had to pay. I have to pay for my YouTube TV.
Really breaking the fourth wall here, but yeah, no matter what in the show, it's
I can't believe that I'm in this. Well, you know what it is Mike. This
an hour and 15 minutes in.
Okay.
So.
All right.
So you have Jericho taking on Samoa Joe, and after the beatdown that they gave them last week, I mean, they all but killed those men. They beat the living shit out of those guys last week. So for Joe just to come out this week and be like, okay, and kind of have they had a hardcore match, but he didn't seem like he really wanted to kill Jericho. So they have this back and forth typical bullshit hardcore match, and because they're in Canada, Stampede, they have horseshoes in the ring, and look at that, they're hitting each other with the horseshoes and certain weapons. I try to suspend disbelief, but Jericho gets hit blunt in the freaking head with the horseshoe to basically stop a submission maneuver by Joe, and Joe just leans up, clocks him in the head with it, and it's like, oh, you bashed his brains in. You killed him. But no, Jericho falls back and then stops selling a second later to get up and continue. So they beat each other up all the way into the back. Jericho is about to be beaten, but look, Big Bill comes out of nowhere, hits Samoa Joe with a chair, and they bring him over towards the forklift. Big Bill choke slams him up on top of the flat part of the forklift. So Samoa Joe is now laying on the lift. Chris Jericho gets in the driver's seat. Cue movie.
What the hell?
You have to see what happens.
What the hell am I looking?
So they have Samoa Joe on top of the forklift, and Jericho's driving. You have people trying to stop him. He's going to kill him, Joe. You got to be careful.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Right through the right through the sheetrock.
He went through laying down on the sheetrock, and then they stop, and they show him stopped and trying to roll underneath it's just, oh God, guys, they should have pre-taped this.
Wait, what happened?
Why could oh God, nothing looked worse than that tonight. I'm sorry, but that was just so horrible. How did that affect him to go through a fake setup wall and then you have a piece of the plywood that he's trying to pull on top of himself?
I can't see any of that part that you're talking about yet. Pull the drywall.
You see, he's supposed to be underneath all of it. You see his arms stick up, and don't worry, Joe, we're gonna get you help.
I mean, I didn't think it was that bad, to be honest. But I
thought that looked horrible.
I guess
the way he went through, you put him through the Home Depot mart.
It's funny that he went through sheetrock, though. I'll say that.
And they got him laid out right here. Oh, just let him stick out a little bit. Poor Joe, save him.
Wow.
Save him from the debris. They should have.
See, it should have been a glass window. A glass window would have been
exactly
crazy.
Something better than we use real glass. I mean, if they were going to do that, pre-tape it and make it look a hell of a lot better. Especially Jericho, knowing how he's been scrutinized about crap.
Oh my God, this is so. What is Jericho? Let's listen to this real quick.
The way he talks, he acts like he murdered him.
He should be ashamed of himself.
Talk about raising the stakes, raising the risks. Sometimes they happen.
Joe needs serious medical.
Wow.
I know he's supposed to be a troll, but it's so
Oh my
bad.
God. Well, that's kind of. That's almost
it's not so bad. It's good. No, it's just bad.
No,
it's
see, here's what's funny.
bad.
Here's what would have made it great, because it would have gone along with his character. He drives that through the sheetrock, and then he gets off the forklift, and he goes, "How does it feel, Samoa Joe?" Then he walks away. Then the camera goes into the room, and he just rolls off the forklifts and wipes off the dust. And he goes, "What the hell is he doing?" And then he walks away, and Samoa Joe's fine. But Jericho just thinks he did some
sports entertainment angle that doesn't actually hurt.
Oh my God, that would have been hilarious. That could have been funny as hell. That Samoa Joe's like, "What the fuck? That didn't do anything to me." And then and he's like, well, "What an idiot!"
But he set up the sports entertainment WWE angle to hurt you, but it didn't really hurt. I can see that being funny. But they wanted to make that look like, oh my God, they killed that man. They put him in the ambulance, and then Jericho has to cut another shitty promo. And see, I'm going to get shit for this too. And I wanted to like it, but you had the finals of the Owen Hart Cup tonight, and it was Bryan Danielson against Hangman Adam Page. And they put on a pay-per-view level worthy caliber match. I don't know why Bryan loves to sell that he's hurt and injured so much to worry the crowd. I think he gets off on people being like, oh, he's hurt. They focused on his neck. I mean, we know he's got the pinched nerve as well, so there is some realism in there that he does need surgery for. I mean, they told us this at one of the press conferences. I forget which in the last year, but he's been injured so many times. He's had that broken orbital socket. He had the broken arm. It just doesn't end with him. So with Bryan now, they focused on his neck the whole match, but they really made him seem like a goddamn Terminator. Like, between the two of them, how much more can you kick out of? And how much more? After a while, it was like, really, Bryan is bleeding, bloodied. You beat the shit out of him, and then he's still kicking out of things. You gave him a pile driver on the outside. A pile driver on the outside. People used to get to hospital angles just on a pile driver, but a pile driver to the outside. And the doc comes over, and Jeff Jarrett comes over, and they're checking on him. And I'm like, oh, they're going to call the match right there. Like, he hurt his neck too much. That's how they're going to get out of this. But no, it went on for another 10 goddamn minutes. And it led to Jarrett getting involved as the referee, and him and Hangman, teeing off on each other basically, but they didn't really come to blows yet. Hangman pushed him a few times. I see that eventually being a match, but maybe his last. I wanted to give a damn. And then, of course, Bryan is practically unconscious when he wins by roll up. It was just any given Sunday victory there. He rolls up Hangman. So it's a clean finish, but it's not that decisive win. And I don't feel like Hangman should have lost here with what they're going for his character. You want him to go after, he was supposed to be this, lethal weapon and hidden, choice for the Elite to go ahead and screw over everybody, and he can go and challenge for the title. And maybe they're going to give Bryan the title, and he'll beat Swerve at All In, and that'll be his retirement, phase to kick in like Cena. But I don't know. So Bryan's trying to get up. He's bloodied and battered. He's getting blood on poor Martha Hart trying to hand him the trophy. Like, it's just, I don't know. It just didn't feel like this great victory. And it made it look like I got out of it because there were so many times they took so much damage. It's like, how much more, if you targeted the neck and you've brutalized this man this badly so many times, how much more can he kick out of?
Right.
And they get the dead eye and he kicks out again. You see Jarrett count as 1, 2, not even a fast count and not a slow count, and it's just it was a lot. It was a lot for Bryan to go through. I mean, just, I don't know. It's really hard to believe, especially with him having already been destroyed coming into the match. He was already at a disadvantage. He's all taped up. He's injured. They know he's injured. So for me, it was just like, it really felt hard to have this believability in there. And they had a real interest in who won as well, because you could see either guy getting the victory here. I don't know, just the match, it was good. I think it could have been a lot better. Went on too long and overstayed its welcome. It wasn't horrible by any means, but it was long. It was 25 minutes long of TV time. And on top of it, like I said, it didn't hurt Hangman, but it certainly didn't, keep his strong heel turn going. He just turned heel and came back all but a week or two ago?
Right.
And now they've already beaten him. So it's kind of questionable, to say the least. I mean, if you were going to beat him, maybe not book him at all in the tournament. I don't know. It doesn't feel great for anybody. I'm not excited that Bryan won, and I'm not happy that Hangman lost either. It just feels like a big question mark all around.
Yeah. It's very confusing, and I don't care that much. It's not confusing, but it's just a lot of stuff I don't care that much. So it's just feels.
I liked last week too. I was high on last week's episode. Like I said, it wasn't a bad match. It just I don't know. We opened with a promo from Will Ospreay, which was okay. It wasn't bad. It was good, but eventually we thought MJF was going to come out. Surprise, he's not there, and he cuts a promo from the back, and it was good, pre-recorded. But I would have rather have seen him there in person. And his recording goes off and talks for a good while, and MJF said, I murdered myself. I did all this for these people. And you're just the next flippy guy. I've seen dozens of you come and go. I'm a generational talent. So MJF, of course, another great promo. Ospreay made a decent response and has to throw in there, bitch. You got to call him a bitch a few times. But next week, we're getting MJF versus Ospreay for, I believe, their title, they said. So I'm baffled we're getting this already.
Right.
I mean, he challenged him outright.
We thought it was going to be at a
title.
pay-per-view, I thought, right? It was...
No, I thought they would have met at All In, but instead they said next week for the title, and Ospreay accepted the challenge.
Maybe they bailed on it then, and they were like, wait a minute, we're going to do something else.
Maybe he wins in the rematches in Wembley.
Or it's a DQ.
Sure.
Yeah, it's going to be... Wait a minute, what's the match against? It's Ospreay versus...
Ospreay and MJF.
MJF. So some... maybe fuckery.
I mean, it could be an angle next week, and we don't actually get the match. They have done things like that, but there's not a lot of times where Tony advertises a match and doesn't follow through, unless it just they run out of time.
Yeah, that's weird. That's weird.
That's a big one to pull the wool out from. So
yeah. That's very interesting. I haven't been I watched more of last week, and I saw last week, but I did not see tonight, so I don't know yet what I feel about all that. But
I do enjoy Ospreay. I mean, it's just, I don't know, it hasn't been great with his character. I mean, we just saw him lose to Swerve.
Right.
Mariah May wins tonight. She beats Willow, and she is the 2024 Owen Hart Foundation Women's Tournament Champion.
There you go.
Come on out, you rapist!
Mariah May wins and celebrates with Toni Storm, and that means she gets to face Toni at All In. Uh-oh!
Arusha Chu, 46 months in a row.
Does Toni attack her, though?
Toni Storm?
Oh, Toni Storm got busted open by Mariah May. Oh, excellent. See, I'm only 2 minutes behind because I had to watch it because of the overrun not existing on
Brent's
TV.
saying wait till you see the end. So is something else going to happen that I don't know about? Because Brent's like, wait till you see it.
Yeah, Mariah May just whooping their ass. Yes, indeed. I'll bring you the clip, but bloodied Toni Storm.
Ooh, Toni Storm's bloody? I'm going to pretend it's, the period.
Speaking of bloody... Did you hear one of the news stories today that a pregnant woman, 22-year-old girl, was found beheaded?
What?
So the family found her head in the dumpster outside, and the police charged her ex-boyfriend, 22-year-olds, with murdering her and her unborn child. Yeah, nuts.
Wow, thanks for telling me that. I feel great now.
Right, seeing stuff like that. I mean, that's a bloody affair, Joe.
I hate
People
you.
were saying great Dynamite tonight with the conclusion. I'm just here to brighten your day,
I hate you.
It's that and more Hulk Hogan lies. It's up to you.
Hulk Hogan lies and Boogie's lies, and I hope Tommy, what's his face, and then Fat Boogie, I hope they get arrested trying to kill each other in real life. In the chat, man, thank you, Aru Shinshu, 46 months. I haven't seen Aru in a while. We did do Out of Nowhere Behind the Paywall. Last time we did it, we had 34 viewers was max. So maybe we can beat that tonight. We might be able to beat that tonight. 29 people watching. We might do it. I don't know. We'll see. But thanks for being here, guys. And thanks for everybody who signed up on Patreon. And thanks to everybody who became a member as well. And Dynamite still sucks, says Louis Urdaneta. So let me put up a poll. Put up a poll. Put up a parking lot. Sorry. Where's D. Welsh going after people? Okay. No, that's not the poll. That's the fucking donation link. Hold on a second. Poll. Wait. Oh, yeah. Okay.
I mean, she beat the shit out of her with her high heels. I mean, she bloodied him and left her in a bloody heaping mess. Mariah May definitely making an example out of Toni. So she hits her in the face with the belt, and then from there just keeps cracking her, beating her with her shoes. I mean, she got her got her heat back, I guess. Now they can do a face versus heel.
Well,
face versus face.
The like button doesn't really matter, to be honest, because we're behind a paywall tonight, so you can hit the like button, but it's not going to help the video trend or do well or not become shadow banned or anything like that. So this doesn't really matter. But I appreciate the like, no doubt about it, but you don't have to worry about it. It's not a big deal. We're behind the paywall. Okay, so yeah, so I don't know. I looks all right. Looks like a kind of a bloody ending. That's about it, and the Jericho thing. Okay, went through
a lot of bloody moments tonight.
Check this out. It's Mansoor.
Yo, listen. Yo, listen. We're taking Castor's spot. I can feel the resentment. He's about to be forgotten like the rhymes in his entrance. Knees weak, arms spaghetti. Entire world knows him as Bowen's Janetti. Doritos, Cheetos, Fritos. Max is sensitive because he's the smallest in his trio. He's looking for a hot act to be attached. Best wrestler alive but can't get booked for a singles match. Just put my fries in the bag, bro.
Okay.
Just put my fries in the bag.
I think I did better, Mansoor. I think I got a better one. But I'm an egomaniac, so I don't know. I could be just thinking I'm great.
I'm not going to scissor him, that's for sure.
Right.
So people are asking what I thought of Raw. I enjoyed Raw. I know, shocker, but there's a lot of good stories going on with Raw right now. I'm curious to see where things go with MJF, but there's not a lot of intrigue and stories right now. Mariah May and Tony will be a good match, but there's not much of a story there. Dominic Mysterio gets the win finally over his father after the 2 years that he's been heel, basically. He finally pins his dad thanks to Liv Morgan. So he's all excited, celebrating. Liv hugs him. He hugs her back. Then he realizes and kind of pushes her away, and she jumps him and pulls him down. They're just about to kiss, and Mommy's back. I loved the look on their faces. I loved her chewing out Dominic. Pretty much that was a hell of a way to go off the air. I usually am not crazy about the love angles within WWE, but this one has been brewing and building nicely. And I think there's some more layers to it than what people just see coming. I think Finn's going to come out against, the Judgment Day as well. We'll see. But then we had Punk opening the show. I thought him and Rollins had a good back and forth. Punk trying to apologize reminded me of Nathan Explosion from Metalocalypse. I'm sorry. He couldn't say it, and just even his apology was like, but it's you still, so I can't be that sorry. And I'm like, yes, you're still yourself. It works. I like that Seth is getting another shot possibly at the belt if we see Damian Priest beat the one and only, and I don't know what's going to happen with Gunther, but next week we will see them go face to face. So far announced with Raw this upcoming week, we have Priest and Gunther with their face to face. Sheamus is taking on Bronson Reed, and Drew McIntyre returns to have a meeting with Adam Pearce. We also saw Chad Gable go ahead and him get pretty much beat by the Yeet, and we saw how that ended with, the spooky chick bringing out another VHS tape. Damn straight. And from there, we got Bo Dallas in the flesh. So hopefully they start doing something with them that isn't VHS tapes very soon. Because that was kind of the problem I had when Bray came back last time.
Slow.
They had that incredible beginning, all the hype around it, the White Rabbit stuff.
It's like they don't know what to do. It's like they didn't have a plan after that.
Yeah, that seemed very odd. And now it seems like it's carefully laid out, or at least formulated in a way that's laid out and planned ahead of time. But I hope they don't make it a total slow burn. I don't want to see it take weeks and weeks and weeks to get anywhere.
Right.
So plus, I'm intrigued. I think that's everybody's kind of curiosity at this point is, what are they going to do? Are they going to be these monsters that don't feel pain and sell anything like The Fiend? Are they going to be people that just come out with costumes and take them off to wrestle? We don't know. We don't know how they're presenting this yet.
I hope they wrestle in the full costumes.
Right? Are they the spooky creatures that are going to come out of the ring every time and disappear? And Are we going to get some type of entrance? I'm curious on a lot of it. So that's good. It's intrigue. It's a good kind of curiosity. It's not where I'm like, oh God, I wish they were doing something better with the booking. We'll see what happens in a couple of weeks, but
well,
I'm not crazy behind Jey Uso at this time. He's very over for the entrance with the eat thing, but I feel like all he is right now is an entrance, sadly.
Yeah.
With a quick catchphrase that caught on. He stole the Fireflies. I wonder if they're actually going to touch on that in storyline since they brought it up.
They brought it up, yeah. I don't like the yeet. I think the yeet thing was stupid, and I think it is still stupid. He doesn't.
Well, if they take it away from him, then we'll see if they agree with that. I laugh with it, people doing it, but I am not crazy.
Just slow
about
it down. Let the people do it if they want to do it, but don't say it as much. Like it's, I don't know. That's me.
It became like a crutch for him, and
yeah,
it would have been funny if he didn't say it, often. And then when he was on his way out the other day, running from the creepy moment, and him saying "yeet" and escaping from the ring, that would have been funny. But because it's a constant, burying of the word, they say it so much. Still, that's a little nitpick out of everything. But Braun Breaker and Ilya Dragunov, I was not happy with DQ loss. It felt lazy. I have seen these two kill each other in so many other ways, and I wish the live crowd was more into it. It seemed like people didn't really care, sadly. I think they thought that Breaker was just going to win no matter what. So
right.
They gotta work on Ilya a little bit more. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Oh, and then I think that was pretty much. Oh, they had the women's 6-way, and that was okay. It wasn't really much to that, really. So
not a lot of wrestling news.
Anything. Yeah.
Not a lot of wrestling news out there either. There's really, what the fuck is going on? Aside from that story you told me about, I looked at all the news and was like, man.
Yeah, I haven't found much. I was early this morning on Twitter, and I was like, well, let's see what happens if anything actually comes out of it, for it's people just looking for fake clicks.
It's got to be fake. I don't see it
Seems
anywhere.
to be, but as far as everything else goes, I mean, WWE did in fact break many records with Money in the Bank. So it became the highest grossing WWE arena event in Canada. More than 45,000 of fans attended the 4 events running Thursday to Sunday. So viewership was up by 46% from last year. John Cena hit one of his greatest social media metric numbers of all time. In partnership with Fanatics, they went ahead and broke sales from last year, which was record set last year for Money in the Bank. And it says here that, yes, here's the number, 65 million views or interactions, as they call it, for the first 24 hours of Cena's retirement announcement. And now, hearing through ESPN, they kind of clarified a bit more as to what's going on. Cena is going to go ahead and retire, but he's not going to be done as of WrestleMania 41 in April. So I assumed, as with many others, he would retire at WrestleMania,
right.
But that's not the case. He said he's going to be working throughout all of 2025, and he has 30 to 40 planned appearances already.
Oh my God.
Doesn't mean matches, doesn't mean just appearances, just all together. He has 40 dates with the company. So I guess there's time to enjoy Cena. We're going to see quite a bit of finals with him, his last this match, his last that. Do you, Joe, think that we'll see him break Ric Flair's record? Do they give him one more title win? Thinking they have a whole year with Cena to do, some interesting stories. If they have a year to play with him, where he's actually here and going to be around and able to be used week to week.
I bet he doesn't want to break it, and he won't. But I do bet he wins at WrestleMania. So John Cena will win at WrestleMania. He'll go on a losing streak almost, like 1 or 2 or 3 losses or something like that, and it will be this story of man, I really don't got anything left, and my last match is WrestleMania, sort of thing. And I almost wonder if they'll downplay it and let the fans really be worried about it, and where he finally wins at WrestleMania, or maybe they'll just tell that story at WrestleMania and he'll win the other matches too. I don't know. Because what's his record at WrestleMania the last 10 years, and what's his record the last 10 matches?
Not great.
Tell me that. It's not good.
I think he won the tag match, but lost the one against Solo, obviously, and a few others. I mean, he could win an Elimination Chamber. He can win, do something at the Rumble. They're saying, though, Mania won't be his last. So he's going to end at the end of 2025.
Oh, I thought he was culminating at WrestleMania.
No, that's what I said. Fans and us, we all thought he would
fuck?
end it at WrestleMania 41. Nope, that's what I was just saying. So Cena just clarified that after Money in the Bank, he said he will be working through 2025 with between 30 to 40 appearances planned already.
Wow. Okay,
and that includes matches. So he's going to have time to tell stories and show up. If he has 30 to 40 appearances, that's almost the most of the entire year. That's shy of 3 months from him appearing on every Raw.
So I'm going to bet then, too, that they still do that story that I mentioned, but they'll make it more about how he loses at WrestleMania. Do we know his WrestleMania record the last 5 years or whatever? Anybody in the chat know? But somebody, if anybody knows, I'm trying to think of his matches, but I think he's lost a lot. But did he lose his last WrestleMania match? Or didn't he come out and do something small recently? I know he lost to The Undertaker one time. He lost
All
to...
right, so John Cena's WrestleMania record. He's got 17 WrestleMania appearances, 15. Out of the 15 matches, he's won 10. He came short in the other 5 encounters.
In a row?
So altogether, if you're going from... All right, so the last ones he had, he lost to Austin Theory. He lost to The Fiend. He lost to The Undertaker.
Yep.
He won with Nikki Bella and then didn't marry her.
So he's on a 3-year
losing streak
at WrestleMania. So that's going to be the story. That is his last WrestleMania. Oh my God, I lose my last WrestleMania. I've lost the last 3. I haven't won a WrestleMania in so many years. That's the story.
People thinking that he's going to win at SummerSlam and get his 17th title win there. I saw D-Rose and a few others, Broken Lion.
Yep.
It's been a pretty hey, yeah, that was going to be what happened. But
now, could he retire then too, or?
He's saying that he's going to be working throughout. So maybe he ends the year in December being his last match. Maybe Survivor Series is his out. He hasn't specified, but I guess he's saying you have time, and the end of an era is the end of 2025. So
right. I don't think Triple H can take that away from Flair or whatever it is. Yeah,
well, think of it though. They're about breaking records recently. They want to break any of those old records, so now they'll have something
only
of theirs. It's he won it all in their company, as where Flair's is an amalgamation of several things.
Mm-hmm.
This is all in one company. Won all the titles here. It's all So I think they're going to push it to have him break it, just so they have that record done.
And then maybe Ric Flair can come out and then hand him the spinner belt, and he can hold that up. Be a big moment. Flair will cry. Although maybe they can't do that because is he with AEW? Isn't Flair still with AEW, or was that just like appearances? Or
I think that was
contracted.
Just an appearance. I don't think he was contracted.
I'm pretty sure. I thought he was under. Like they were like, Ric Flair is all elite. Like they put out a thing.
I remember they did, but
I mean they'll do that.
How long was it? Because it was in November 2023, so it's been a
Sting.
year. But I don't know, was it multi-year or was it?
I don't know. Maybe he was just there to do it with Sting.
Yeah,
and
no, it was a multi-year deal.
Yeah.
So he signed in November 2023, and
so he might not be able to hand the belt. Maybe
no, but I think that's just for Woo Energy as the exclusive drink.
Woo Energy. Wooings.
It says Ric Flair signs the Nature Boy made his return. Ric Flair meant to sign.
Wooings. I'm just gonna keep doing that. It's the greatest thing ever. Wooings. It's unbelievable. Arushin Chu, thank you for being a 46-month member. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm reading through all this now. I think the contract was just for his drink, not with him. I'm trying to verify this.
Well, he was there for weeks. And then he kind of got bad press, and then he crapped on AEW. He was like, I'll leave if this crap is whatever, I'll just leave. And it was like, oh my God, Tony Khan can't even get a legend.
No, I guess it is both. It is both. Okay, so
yeah,
he is contracted, but it was in conjunction with his Woo energy drink becoming the official energy drink of AEW.
Oh, God. They get Jake Paul. WWE gets Jake Paul's prime. AEW gets woo energy. You would think it'd be the other way around, that whatever, but that's funny. Something about that's funny. I don't know what, but something's funny about that.
Yeah, here's the actual press release. Yeah, Tony Khan announced multi-year deal with Hall of Famer Ric Flair.
Nick Flair, is that what you just said?
Ric Flair, but yeah. AEW Dynamite in Philadelphia. He was Khan's special gift for the Icon Sting. So yeah, that's what it started. So he's got a couple years left. So no Flair to hand over the title.
Well, then don't.
Well, multi-year, 23. Yeah, it still would be. No, I don't think.
But I bet Ric Flair could say to Tony Khan, "Cut my contract off, and I want to go do that." And Tony Khan's not going to say no to Ric Flair, just like he wouldn't say no to Regal and some other people. I bet he couldn't say no to Flair. I bet it.
We'll see.
But I don't know.
Another bit of news, Joe, going around is that WWE wants to add a ref cam.
Oh God, that'd be awesome, actually.
I think it could be cool. So TNA experimented with this a while ago.
Really?
But I feel like, yeah, they had a couple of like point of view cameras from the ref's point of view, but it wasn't high quality. And you know what, WWE, especially since they no longer have Kevin Dunn, they're not doing 1,000 camera cuts per second anymore. I think with how they do, everything's higher quality. They have that 8K announcement camera when they announce the champions and stuff, and all these little things that they're doing to change the production. I think could be really cool. Like if the ref is down in between a submission and you get a good shot, why not?
Right.
We'll see how they. I'm sure they'll experiment with it and try it out. But I do like the idea of that actually being something that happened. This is a Fightful saying that it's something may debut on WWE soon. It's not a foreign concept, but it is something that they wanted to see added for a while now, and I think it could be really interesting though.
Yeah, that could be interesting.
So far, the things that they've added that I would consider to be a gimmick or would be infringing on the wrestling, like it would get in the way of things. So far, they've done it in a way that it's not a hindrance at all. It only elevates the product. Prime example, a lot of times they're like, oh, drone shots, and they just look either piss poor or it's just the one, long shot. Here they went ahead. They did that 360 shot with Logan Paul jumping. That was incredible. I mean, what they're doing now looks like cinema. It looks like, it's incredible how advanced the camera, technique has come. But I'm telling you, a lot of those things like that, where they used to do all the graphics and the quick, now they have different outro graphics. And I like the way you see like Superstar, this one coming up next, those just the little packages they put together have been more appealing. So overall, not a bad idea. If they add the ref cam, I'd be excited. One thing they did add is Joe Tessitore from ESPN. He's going to be a play-by-play voice. So they said that he will work alongside Wade Barrett and Corey Graves. And it said Michael Cole and Pat McAfee will remain teamed up. So they're leaving everybody the same, but they're going to add him alongside Wade Barrett and Corey Graves. So
that's so he can start to, they can see how he's, put the safety net on.
See how he works, see how, they said whether it's a world title fight that's got the globe buzzing or college football, he's, the voice provides that big event feel each time he's behind the microphone. So Triple H was talking about this, saying that, he's a legendary broadcaster and we're happy to have him, and let's see what happens with each week. So he was there at WrestleMania XL and he said, he was excited and they're excited to see what he does. So he said, I'm humbled and I'm excited to join this team and serve our fans. So sometimes they add people.
Oh boy. Sorry.
Yeah. Sometimes they add people because they want the mainstream media buzz. They want that ESPN rub off that they tried to get. And, like we always joke, Jeff Harvey, and we think of like Mike Adamle and others, they'll bring in an outside name and it doesn't work out.
Yeah, they just
think
don't
about
get
the many different commentators we saw.
The best guy was the Joe Rogan sound-alike, and he was really the best. He did the best job, and he was kind of forgettable, but he was good. Like, I don't know how to explain it. He was like really good, but like not really. but like way better than Adam Lee and the other people that in the fucking Adnick Verk or whatever the hell.
Yeah,
this guy sounds great.
I forget his name, but I forget
Verk.
all their names. There were so many people as time went on.
This guy sounds great, Jake. He does, but you know.
Yeah, he fit, but I'm saying there's been so many that didn't work, and it just kind of became a trope of like, oh, you're coming in from another company, you don't know anything about wrestling, this is not going to be good, and the fans are going to reject it, and it didn't. But with this, I don't know.
By the way, Road Dogg told me I probably would also be hard to get a job because I was too old. When I was 35, he was like, oh, like don't try not to hire anybody over 30 at this point, and I'm like, oh, this guy's 53.
Yeah.
53. Just saying. Like, come on. And there was a report about that too, Jake. I mean, there was also a report that WWE doesn't want to bring in, like Tom. Remember Tom Phillips when he got signed? I mean, he was like 28. Yeah. So
you're not wrong.
They were really looking for younger guys.
He was born January 1st, 1971.
So I mean, maybe I just gotta wait 15 more years, and by then, like the internet and YouTube and all that will have gone away. Nobody will know who I am, and like they'll be like, "Wow, this guy's great." They won't even know.
I think they're trying to bring on somebody that works for them instead of trying to bring on somebody for just name value.
That's true.
Pat McAfee, I feel like they were like, oh no, he's dedicated. He wants to do this. He put in the effort. He's showing us the dedication. And it paid off because the fans fell in love with him. He had the 2 matches in NXT that were great. I mean, that match against Adam Cole was so far exceeded everyone's expectations. It was a ton of fun to watch. His WrestleMania matches, we've seen Pat do a lot, and he's been a really welcome breath of fresh air. And it's funny how, you had JR and the King. Now you've got like Cole and Pat. It's kind of like the same bit of a dynamic with how they act to each other. Obviously, it's hard to compare the two, but you get the idea where they have that relationship finally. You see that Pat McAfee and Michael Cole are friends. They get along. They joke with each other. That's kind of how it felt with JR and Jerry most times. Like they were
like a crew.
Brother, they worked, like an team. Actual crew.
A team,
yes, exactly. And there were times they disagreed. They'd argue. They'd bicker, but they would defend each other. So it worked out well. And Pat's been a great on-air character, personality, whatever you want to call it. He's gotten a lot of eyes extra on the product, and he's been one of the ones that helped like revitalize WWE as a cool thing to the NFL audience and others. So let's see what they do with this guy here. I'm genuinely curious.
I
feel like they're adding people now that work well for them and what they want versus the other way around. I don't think they're not out there, just snatching up everybody, but they did hire Stephanie Vaquer. So, it was kind of interesting to see how the AEW audience reacted, because up until today, when she was announced to be signing for WWE, they loved her in everything she did, and now she's nothing but a traitorous bitch and all these just colorful names. But she did sign. It was first announced that she left CMLL and New Japan. They put out a press conference on both sides to let people know. And now it's pretty much been all but announced that Shawn Michaels has confirmed that, hey, great to have you. So
who gets to keep the antlers, Jake? Her or Sarah Logan?
Ooh, that's a good question. I'm going to say Logan, just because of Michael Cole and the love for those damn antlers.
Yeah. Oh, wow. By the way, we have a record. 41 watching live behind the paywall. That's pretty good. Well, I don't know if it's a record, but it beats the last time we were live behind the paywall. So thank you guys for that. Well, only time will tell whether it was the right call to go behind the paywall. But had to try to give people something behind the paywall, because we haven't done anything behind the paywall in a while. So had to do it.
Exactly.
It was painful, but give you guys extra, you payers, members, patrons. Yeah.
I don't know about giving a little extra, but the doctor took a little extra out of Tyler Bate. They went ahead and fixed his left pectoral muscle that tore. So hopefully he heals up, comes back soon. But all in all, it was a decent night for ratings. We saw on Friday 2.256 million viewers for SmackDown on Fox.
We got to look up the Collision rating.
I have it right here. The Collision rating. You got to guess?
Well, MJF screamed into the camera and he said, "All I care about is the Mr. Nielsen," or something like that. Well, guess what? I bet Mr. Nielsen was 250,000.
You're not far off.
Or less.
306,000.
Wow, I'm actually surprised it's that much because it
Yeah,
was up
last
against WWE Money in the Bank.
Yeah, last week they had 442,000 viewers and a .12 rating. This week they were down to 306, so down 140,000 viewers, and they were at a .08 in the 18 to 49 demo.
Oh my God, we got to get the clip of MJF going, "All I care about is Mr. Nielsen," or whatever, and then do the boom boom ba boom boom.
Well, the funny thing is yeah, the price is
Dude, I mean, that's great. Come on.
Somebody's got to get on that. Somebody.
I want to do it right now. I'm thinking about doing it right now live.
You should. I can't help but laugh though, because like you said, Collision 306, but if you look at Rampage, that was 309. I mean, so that's pretty much their core audience.
Scared the shit out of me. I'm sorry.
That is though. That's their average viewership right now without inflation.
Is this when he
somehow
says
they kept blaming not having Big Bang Theory? You know,
right.
Because everything that you love sucks.
When does he say it?
But no, you guys.
No, here it is.
Cares about are from a guy named Meltzer.
Let's do this live. We're gonna do it live.
Grown-ass man. The only ratings I care about are from a man named Nielsen. So I got an idea from a man. The only ratings I care about.
That's gonna be great. Okay, here we go. We got to do this live in real time. This is hard. Okay, ready? Here we go. Here we go, everybody. We're doing it live. This is amazing. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go.
Man, the only ratings I care about are from a man named Nielsen. So I got an idea, Will.
So then we go back to this, and then we pause it, and then we write, what is it? 302,000.
306. I think I just said. Let me double check now. Just close that. It was 306.
That's yikes. So then we make it black and white because that's funny. Then we put the number in this color with a black border. And then we put the number really big. Then maybe we gray it. There we go. We gray it. And then okay, here we go. Here we go. I'm so proud of myself. Then we go to Twitter and we post it. We put that up and we say, "How about that?" And then we question mark and then AEW and then hashtag AEW Collision. And then we play it. We see how it looks.
Things I care about. Man, the only ratings I care about are from a man named Nielsen. So I got.
Oh, that's perfect.
I'm sorry. Oh God, it pains me. I love AEW, but it's like I love MJF, but
if WWE tonight, they tweeted out a picture of CM Punk right as AEW went live. Right as they went live. Like, if they want to really be petty and take the gloves off, they'd be done for. WWE is not even acknowledging them. They don't say their name. They don't talk about anybody from there. They just don't acknowledge them. Punk made a little slight saying there's people on that side of the camera, but he didn't, but they used to say the same thing about that.
Well, listen,
to WWE.
When
WWE had the tarps, so it goes both ways.
A lot of people made fun of Punk in a way. They were like, "Oh, he did that and the crowd didn't even pop." But I was like, dude, but that's the problem. The crowd didn't pop because most people didn't know what the fuck he's talking about.
That's the point of what he's saying. That's why he didn't say, hey, AEW, do you want me to? No, he just made a little snide, and those that get it. Those that don't.
Right out of my book. I love it.
Exactly.
Punk invented it. I get it. I like it.
It's that other type of cancer, Joe.
Well, yeah. MJF is a certified clown. I love MJF. It's just I don't know if someone told him to say that or whatever, but like, just it was funny because he said that, and I was like, why would you say that? Like, normally when MJF says things, they're very real, and it's very like, that's why it's so good, because it's so true and so real. But here you are on a show that literally gets like 300 and 200,000 views on a Saturday, like, and does really atrocious, like one of the worst things. And you're talking about all you care about is the Nielsen ratings when you don't get any. Like, it's one of the worst. It's like,
well, Ospreay also didn't do him any favors. Ospreay tonight, most of his insults felt like middle school-ish. He's like, I've got more talent in my left nut than you have in your entire body, calling him a bitch, and, you know, the little snide remarks he made. Oh, he's a selfish little prick, and, you know, but he just kind of talked at him, not to him, and obviously MJF isn't there. He should have been, as I said. But and then the video that MJF cuts, and then he challenges him next week. We'll see what happens. But he cut a good promo. This is just, he should have been there for this build. And I know the character is like, oh, but that's the point of the character. He's not going to be there for the fans because they used him. I get that. But he just came back, build it up more, then stick to it.
right.
They're trying to build to the eventual all-in pay-per-view. And it's like, you know, why are you having this match next week? Now, I don't know the booking. I don't know what's going to happen. They probably could work their way out of it. But again, it just feels dangerous to do. Like, I wouldn't have done Swerve and Ospreay yet. I wouldn't have, you know, there's a lot of things. And I don't know. It's just, there's not many things that I'm excited to tune in for.
Yeah, and I think they tried. You know, they tried to do something, and I get why. And I just think they went. I think they should have had a backup plan. I think they should have gone in knowing, damn, you know, this might not work with Swerve. Like, it may become lame or not go well. Let's come up with some things to do that we can, like, as A, B, and C options. And one being he can lose the belt right away, and people are going to say we didn't give him a fair shake and all that shit. But you know what will happen because of that is someday down the road he'll be even that more over, and it'll be a big thing. Or we come up with crazy angles for him to be involved in that are so crazy that it's cool. But they didn't do that either. It's just mano a mano, like, I'm the champ and you got to challenge me, and okay. And then that's it, and that's boring, and so you're screwed.
Well, also, they didn't do Swerve any favors tonight either. So you have Martha Hart in the ring.
Made him look bad.
They give Brian his trophy, his belt. Brian's bleeding all over them, and they cut to Swerve's music. So I'm like, oh, good. He's going to come out. Since Brian won a title shot, they're going to talk to each other, interact. Nana comes out, starts dancing, swerves when he drives, and then they went to commercial, and you come back, and there's Swerve and Nana in the ring. No Danielson. And then Swerve cut a just very bland, awkward promo. And he hasn't been great on the mic, I feel like, in a little while. One of the things that I've been yelling from the rooftops about the home invasion angle, no one has brought up, no one mentioned, no one talks about. And then last weekend on either after Collision, after AEW, one of the two, I think it was after Collision, Hangman Page cuts a promo. They put it up on YouTube, about 2 minutes long. One of the best promos I've seen him cut, if not ever, at least in years. But he talks about it. He said, the man was in my house. He was in front of my child. He broke into my house. And you fans chose him. You chose him over me. You know, he made this great stand.
Yeah.
But he's not out there trying to kill Swerve at every chance. If you had broken into my house and threatened my family and acted like that, the last breath in my body would be used to drain blood from you. But we don't get that from him. Even though Hangman's standing there yelling, he loses to Bryan, so he loses the title shot. And instead of him snapping so he could still take out Swerve or anything, he just walks away.
Yeah.
So the depressed cowboy lost again. He just came back as a heel. You just made this great statement how he's gonna win, so Swerve pays, and then okay, he loses, but nothing afterward. All right, maybe next week, but they didn't capitalize on any of this. I feel like they blew the tournament, the number one contendership, and heel turns all in the process.
Right. They fuck.
And then Swerve looks like a bitch. Now Swerve challenged Okada.
Yep.
And then besides that, he goes ahead and he's like, I'll see Danielson at All In. But first, we got to do blood and guts. So I'm going to be on the AEW team. I'm going to lead Team AEW to victory. That's something Bryan Danielson couldn't do. I get the booking there because Danielson, they lost Anarchy in the arena. But do you really want your champion to be I don't know. He doesn't feel like Mr. AEW just because the Elite wanted to have him come over on their side. I would have kept the champ far away from this. And that's kind of the problem, though. There isn't any rah-rah AEW people right now. They don't have anybody ready-made that people give a shit about and give a shit that they care about the company. They had people like that, but they've ruined or forgotten everybody. There's a lot of people we haven't seen in weeks.
Yeah.
And I know they don't have enough TV time for everything, but that's kind of the problem here.
You know what Tony Khan needs to do is he needs to, whatever he's comfortable with doing, whether that's 3 storylines, 5 storylines, whatever. He needs to write down on a piece of paper, I want to be involved in 3, 4, or 5 things every single week, whatever the fuck it is, whatever it is. And then he needs to write down, okay, we need all these other things to be done. And let other people write them. Be like, here, Christopher Daniels or whatever, you get one storyline, come up with something, and you get something, and you get something, and I want you to bring it all to the meeting, pitch it to me, and then we're going to choose 3 of the 10 people's ideas, and then we're going to go with the 3 ideas I have, whatever. And dude, do a big round table thing, and do a thing, and then that's not what they do though. Tony Khan practically picks almost everything, works with the talent though on some of their ideas, and then goes with some of their ideas, and there's no real organization to it. So, but
here's the problem, Joe. Before you even get to finish your point, I'm sorry, but you can't even say what you're about to think because it doesn't matter, and here's why.
Okay,
he gave Mercedes Moné creative control.
Right. Exactly. So that's out the window, and now one of your stars is now in control. How many other stars?
How many stars? Exactly. It's all fucked. You just said it. It's all fucked. There's nothing you can do to fix it now.
Right.
Unless you renegotiate all the contracts, no matter what brilliant idea anybody has, you're fucked because they're not going to agree to it. And now she's holding 2 belts and getting a cake for each one.
Well, I think that's part of. I think we're answering our own questions in some ways, because I think what Tony Khan should do is listen. Starting today, everybody, fuck your fucking freedom and whatever else. And what we're going to do is we're going to have people write for you, and we're going to go the old school route. But they're not doing that, so what's happening is, okay, can we, what's going on with, I don't know, Paige or whatever the fuck? Oh, well, she wanted creative control of everything, and we don't have anything we like from her that we can put on TV, so, all right, just forget about her for now. Because
we know that happens. Look what happened to Rusev. Look what happened to Andrade. Look at what happened to name and name and name and name.
Right. Oh yeah, go do it on Dark. You want to do that? Paige has this idea that she could come out and beat up somebody with a chair and then play with her pussy in the back. Okay, yeah. Okay, that's perfect. We have this segment on Dark that we need you to do. Or yeah, you can do that in the pre-show of the pay-per-view thing in a couple months.
Not that it should matter, but whatever happened to Danhausen? He's wrestling on indie shows and all this stuff, but he was so over with the audience. Much more than the Tony Pizza guy. Yet I feel like they showed him more than Danhausen. And it's not like I'm a big fan of his or anything. I'm just saying, all the time you get this big internet craze, and Tony brings him in for a second, then you don't see them anymore.
Because he hired him for the pop. He hired him for the fact that this guy's popular on the internet right now. Let's bring him in. Oh my God, he's here. Danhausen's here. That's funny. All right, let's play with him for 3 months. Okay, we're done.
Exactly, and that shows. And the problem is,
look at the ratings during his segments too.
I know. And Mercedes went ahead, and when she said this to TMZ Sports, the CEO also went ahead and was in character. So some people were defending her, being like, of course she says she has creative control and that she's working with Tony Khan very closely. But other people were like, well, if she's in character as a wrestler, she's not going to talk about creative control. That's breaking the fourth wall. Yeah. So it's not in character. She was just acting like her usual bitchy self. That's not a character. Dude, that's her.
She emasculates her husband in front of everybody and laughs about it.
Tore him down because of an outfit that looked like every other goddamn, multicolored thing she wears. She said before she won the title, she's like, oh, and I'm going to be the new Japan strong champion. And she's like, so yes, this little creativity that I have of taking all the belts and going global, it's beautiful. I work closely with Tony Khan. Yes, I have creative control, but I work closely with him, so it's a great combo.
Right.
It's not in character.
She's not thinking about how she's saying this shit. She's fucking retarded.
Exactly.
She really, it's weird because, dude, the girl and the grow up and the knowledge and Northeast and Massachusetts and WWE fan and everything like that, like, these are all things that I am, except I'm like 10 years older than her. But it's like, how do you not know these things, that you shouldn't say it like that? You know what I mean? And or do you think it doesn't matter now because everybody knows it's all work anyway, so who cares? Well, why do you say that stuff about your husband then? Why do you talk like that about other people? You seem like a bitch. Like, she really does, and I loved her. I bought her glasses, I bought her T-shirt, and whatever else. I can't believe, dude, she really just seems to suck. Like, she doesn't make fans at airports and you disgusting fans and, like, I'm so great. Like, we just, oh, God, she just, I'm annoyed thinking about her. Like, she must be terrible. She must be terrible. I'm sorry. But I love Sasha.
I've been ringing that bell for a long time.
You know what?
As included, you know.
Everybody has been, I've been wrong. Because I hung on to her the longest, I think. Of like, oh, I love Sasha, though. They're just not, something's not right, and she, whatever. But no, dude, she was crying in the back with Bailey. She cries over stuff. She goes to rooms to break things because she's so crazy weird. She cried over her husband making her a dress, like, and he sucks. She sucks. You're a pussy. If you cry, I'm a woman. Woman can do all the same thing. Oh, but I cried when my husband made me a dress. I thought it was ugly, and I knew my performance was going to be affected by it. Go fuck yourself. Like, your performance is affected because you're a weak-minded person. That's why your performance is affected.
Absolutely.
I bet your husband's performance in the bedroom's affected because you emasculate him.
Oh, he's just a stand-in for the fans. You know, she's got, some real man.
Yeah, she's married to what looks like to be a disgusting troll of a fan. That's what she looks like she married. Oh, I hate the fans at airports. They're gross. Whatever.
That's her husband? I thought that was one of those transgenders you were talking about.
Oh, no. I don't know. She probably played victim about that, too.
I wouldn't doubt it. But while you're talking about the women's roster, Joe, as far as WWE goes, here's my critique. Please, dear God, don't add mid-card titles for the women. They want to, apparently, according to, Wrestling Observer and Fightful, the idea to have a women's Intercontinental and United States title is in the works.
Oh boy.
I don't want any more added belts. They have enough belts. They already don't pay any mind to the women's tag titles. Those are seen now more than they have been previously, but they're still not featured weekly or even, as often as once a month. There's, quite a bit of things that they could be working on already. So adding 2 more titles, that's one of my big gripes with AEW. Everybody has a belt. No one feels special. So that's a problem here. I feel like if they add more, I even feel this way about like the Rumble and King and Queen of the Ring. I would alternate. Whoever has the Rumble doesn't have Money in the Bank. And then you switch off. So you have a men's Rumble and a women's Money in the Bank. And next year you get a men's Rumble and a women's Money in the Bank. That kind of thing. Because having them, 2 Rumbles, 2 Money in the Banks, 2 Elimination Chambers, it just waters down what they can do in the ring. It takes away from whatever story they try to tell, because then they have to do the same stuff afterwards. And a lot of times those matches, gimmick matches, are very limiting. Elimination Chamber. I get
what you're saying. I don't agree with waiting a year for the swap or whatever. I don't like that, but I maybe could get on board with one happens halfway through the year, the other one happens 6 months later, so maybe, but I don't think I like that. But I know what you're saying. Yeah,
there's probably a better way to do it, but I don't know. I can't help but feel like adding any more titles right now, and it just waters down what they're trying to build. It's bad enough that they have 2 of everything already: 2 champions, 2 women's champ, 2 main world titles. They really, I feel like it'll just be too much to manage.
Well, speaking of too much to manage, D. Welsh just sent me this from Twitter. Huge soccer fight breaking out apparently tonight. Look at this.
Yeah, he was saying.
I don't know why we care about this, but
Uruguay versus Colombia.
You hope everybody gets hurt. Oh, what a shot there. And here comes the guy in the blue. Wow, he went crazy. The bald guy in the blue there.
Wait for the stream. Here we go. Oh, yeah, you're not lying.
This guy in the blue comes out in the blue.
Comes out of the blue. Wow. The one yellow guy jumped up and got a good punch there, too.
And that bald guy was going at everybody. Oh, no, he wasn't. He was only going at that guy.
Fights all over.
And they're all fighting over not being the real Mexicans.
Le football.
I don't know.
There was a clip. I don't know if it's old and people are just replaying it, or if it was recent. But you just see a referee pat one of the players on the back, and when he does, the guy falls like he's been punched by a fucking like a fucking mech warrior came out and launched him.
Oh my
like,
God!
The way they sell some of these things, the guy just pats him on the back. He's like, oh, falls, and then he looks up and sees it's not a player, and he gets back up. Like, it's so funny when they don't have the card called or whatever, and you just see them like pop right back up. They're like, you think they have this debilitating injury, and then they don't get what they want, and they just boop, right back up. They're fine.
I'm gonna have to look up the game later. I don't know what the score was. I'm assuming it was. Who knows actually what it was? But Uruguay versus Colombia. Is that what you said? Uruguay and Colombia.
I think so. I think that's what it was.
Lot of blood there. Go!
Ric Flair. I missed it. Ric Flair said, a true friend is like a four-leaf clover, hard to find and lucky to have. Woo, at John Cena. So it looks like he's saying that they shared a cool moment together when he retired, and, they really hope that, he bowed to John, presented him with the world title belt there, and wow. I guess, that's all Flair's going to say.
Right.
It works though, so we'll see what happens. What Flair will be coming out with if he is going to lose his record.
Comes out with the spinner belt. Maybe Tony Khan loans him.
Maybe hearing
they tell Ric Flair, get fired from AEW, go in a bar and take your dick out, because he hasn't really been around since he flipped out in that bar.
Yeah,
and before that, Jake, he said that he should just leave. Because the AEW wrestling fans don't like him or whatever, so I should just leave. So he did that, which made Tony Khan probably angry. It's like when Jesse said the monetize this belt was worthless. And then after that, he threatened someone in a bar, and he looked bad, and there was a national story.
Yeah.
So we're not going well in AEW for a legend. AEW can't win, man. They just can't get someone to be like, I love this company, and I'm going to do good things now, and I'm a legend. Nope.
Jeff Hardy comes in. He gets his DUI and all that stuff.
He gets hurt. End. He gets hurt. Matt Hardy gets hurt. Matt Hardy does whatever he did at the end. And it just all goes, dude, it's all bad. And they start criticizing, and they want to leave, and now they did leave. So look,
now we're hearing the Motor City Machine Guns are going to be going ahead and showing up in WWE. People were saying, I thought they were already signed to AEW. I guess Tony said he had interest in signing them, but now we're hearing elsewise. Tommaso Ciampa put up a picture of them, and that stoked rumors as well. So it looks to seem like, it's not as certain as it was before. We'll see what happens with those two. But I didn't mention earlier, NXT Heatwave, the Fallout show, with the Rascals reunion and Joe Hendry at the end as well for the tag match. They drew 656,000 viewers on USA. That's up from last week's 542. So 0.24 in the demo. Not bad. So they saw an increase from last week. Still not great, but good for NXT.
Yeah. What was the rating?
The Raw rating. The rating was 670,000, I think I said. And for Raw this past Monday, it's 1.759 million. This was down from the week before's 1.878. And that surprised me because, you figured big names would be there, but they didn't advertise CM Punk, nor did they advertise the return of Rhea Ripley. So maybe next week we'll see a bigger jump since, people know that she's back as well.
Right.
And besides that, that's about it. What I got for news at this point. I mean, All In is shaping up more and more as time passes. We now know we'll get the main event match of Bryan Danielson taking on Swerve Strickland. Do we see Swerve, top Bryan, and that's his way to like cement his AEW championship legacy by beating him and saying, he is one of the best? Or does Bryan finally win a title in AEW? I can kind of see it going both ways at this point. So we'll see what happens going forward. But that was one of the things I was upset out, with Raw, is that Damian Priest is kind of busy elsewhere. He's talking to Seth. He's helping out Judgment Day, but he should be focused on Gunther. And they didn't even really make much mention of that match, even though it's only a few weeks away.
Right. That's weird.
Yeah, SummerSlam
I didn't know about
is all but I believe 3 weeks away at this point. So.
Yeah, SummerSlam is early August now. That's right, or late July, or
late July. It is,
or August 2nd or something.
Where's the event?
That's crazy.
It'd be the 37th annual, August 3rd.
Oh, close.
All right, at the Cleveland Browns Stadium. So yeah, they got about 3 weeks still to go. But as of right now, we know we're going to get Bayley taking on Nia Jax, and she was Queen of the Ring, and Gunther versus Damian Priest as they are King of the Ring. More than likely, we'll see Solo Sikoa take on Cody Rhodes. Talk is that Cody's might be losing the belt at SummerSlam. I don't know if that's true, but if they do
that's
decide
when I wanted
to give
him to
it
lose
to Solo, yeah, it could happen. So we'll see what happens. We're full steam ahead to the next year. We're getting to see quite a lot of things we wouldn't see before. I mean, WWE is working with a bunch of different companies now, and they're letting superstars, pretty much travel freely for the most part when they get a decent signing. It's interesting to see what's happening. So definitely not the wrestling landscape we saw even a year ago. Never mind 2 years ago. It is amazing of like how much a black cloud Vince had over things, but
yeah.
It really is just a whole new company in a lot of ways. And yeah, some of the things are still there. And if you don't care for it, it'll be that way. But a lot of the storytelling and the booking and keeping things on principle has gone forward with being more entertaining in my eyes than a lot of what Vince gave us in the recent decade.
Right.
A lot of those Raws, even some of the SmackDowns, were just horrible to get through.
Oh, God.
You and I would sit here, and the only benefit to Raw would be us reviewing it and joking with each other. But even then, I remember being like 10 o'clock some nights and just fighting to stay awake because Raw was just awful.
Yeah.
And then we got to the COVID era, and it was even worse with the Thunderdome.
Alex Cantu said, yeah, Flair just getting paid by AEW to start fights in public bars instead of the ring. Yeah, it hasn't been good for Flair. It's like Tony Khan's got to be pissed.
He doesn't want Flair to die.
Well,
so he'll let him get into bar fights, but he doesn't want him fighting in the ring.
Well, why doesn't he? Like, it's not even that. It's like, why not put him on TV somehow? But he's Ric Flair.
He just retired again.
Why don't they do a gimmick with Flair where he's losing his mind like Biden? And they do
fighting around the world.
No, they just do a parody of Biden, and they use Flair. They do. I mean, they probably wouldn't want to do that. Maybe Flair doesn't want to look bad or whatever. I don't know.
Flair go up to make a speech and just be like, "I like ice cream." That's it.
Here's the thing: I like ice cream. I love it. Like, and he's like feeble and whatever. And so
it's awful when you have Democrats out and out and out going ahead being like, you shouldn't run again. This is not good. Something's not right.
You know what's really awful is when 2 weeks ago CNN said whenever you showed Biden being feeble, CNN said, oh, those are all cheap fakes. Or no, it was the press secretary and CNN and all them, MSNBC. They were like, oh yeah, all the videos of Biden looking old, it's like they're fakes. They're cheap fakes by Republicans. And it was like, what? He's fucking old. What are you talking about? Cheap fakes? They're all cheap fakes? And now this week they're like, he needs to be removed, which tells you that they all have somebody in mind to do something, and they've all planned this. Yeah. So they finally turned their back on him.
Just like when they turned on Bernie.
On Bernie,
that was the plan all along.
Turned on Bernie, turned on everybody. They'll eat their own. Is anything for the deep state. You know, the right couldn't do that really because they're also on different wavelengths. That's what's funny. But like, yeah, I mean, the mainstream right can do that, but like not. There's so much division over there on the right side party, but oh my God, like this guy, I just hope to God somebody, I don't know, I'm worried someone's gonna win, like Michelle Obama or Kamala or somebody like that would win, because that's just as bad to me. It's not good either. It's like none of that. I don't want anyone from that crew of liars who'll just lie out of nowhere every second and throw anybody under the bus so that they can get their agenda over. I'm just very scared of that.
Everybody's got a plan.
I'm going to run. Jake, I'm going to run.
Damn straight.
I'm going to run for president, guys. And I'm going to let every terrible thing that I've ever done or said or whatever on this everywhere come out. And it's just they're going to attack me. It's going to be crazy. They're going to freeze bank accounts. They're going to do all kinds of crazy stuff to me. But I want that to happen. I want that to happen. And then I'm going to be a maniac. And I'm going to do all my speeches with a sword for some reason. And they're going to be like, what the hell is this guy doing with a sword? It'll be crazy.
It would be nuts. We'll get you with 2 samurai swords.
Yep. Anything else you wanted to say before we roll out of here, I guess?
That is it for the news. I mean, I guess the only other thing I didn't mention from tonight is that Pac won a #1 contender title shot at the international titles. It looks like he'll go for that at Wembley. Seems to be the story they're telling. So at least they're doing something with him finally, because he did have to miss last year, unfortunately. So at least he'll get that, not quite hometown, but home country reaction. I like Pac, so it's interesting to see what they're doing for. They had
yeah.
They had him, Claudio, Kyle Fletcher, and Tomohiro Ishii in a 4-way, and that's when Pac ended up winning at the end. He got the brutalizer, and that was it. He hit Fletcher with a dark arrow, and then he put the brutalizer on him, and that was it. So he won, and he cut a decent promo afterwards saying the bastard will be back. So I'm glad they're actually using him
again.
But how long till we don't see him again? They did this quite a bit last year too, where they had Saraya win the women's title because it was Wembley, then nothing, and she was done. I don't know. I know they're setting up Britt Baker to take on Mercedes Moné as well at All In, but I don't know. There's not much that to be excited for yet. We'll see what happens. Got to see what happens next week with Ospreay and MJF.
Janelle said, "Who would I run for or whatever?" I said it in the chat, but I obviously I should run independent, but maybe not. Maybe I wouldn't run independent, guys. Maybe the smart move is this. Maybe if I run for president, don't run independent. That won't work. Maybe I run Democrat, and I'll bring order back to the Democrats. Maybe I'll run. If you
start trafficking children, they'll give you the nomination for sure.
Well, I'll say that, and then I won't do it. I'll be like, listen, we're going to traffic kids everywhere. I'm going to eat their fucking blood and stuff. And then I'll say, no, I was kidding.
That's what really happens at the border. So
right. No, I'm thinking maybe I run as a Democrat, because then I could get the party going, and they'll be like, wow, and I'll run on the platform of we need logic and reason and facts to rule again in the Democrat Party. And
there's too many lazy voters out there too, so you'd have to really, really unite them onto your side.
You're right. No one from the independent party has won, says Janelle.
That's why you can't go independent, Joe.
That's why I'm saying. So I'll run Democrat. How about that?
Yeah, because if not, independents never win, and you wouldn't cap in on that market.
Right. Project 2025 is a scare tactic that the left has created, because there's this group of weirdo right-wing people that have this little project thing. But what's funny about people on the left is whenever you tell them about things that the left is doing, that they're really doing and that they say they're doing, and the world is talking about it, like the world leaders, like the Great Reset and all that stuff, they say that's a conspiracy. But no, it's not. But then when a group of Republicans are saying that they're doing some Project 2025, and one of those people happens to know Trump or whatever, or be under Trump, and Trump has said he doesn't know what the fuck that is. It's weird, and it's a weird thing, the 2025 thing. I saw it. I saw what they're saying, and whatever the fuck, it's fucking weird. I've never heard Trump talk about it. Trump's never said anything about wanting to do anything like it. Some of the beliefs on the 2025 thing don't align with his beliefs. They don't align with things he's done. So therefore, I don't care about it. It's not real to me. It's a scare thing. The left is trying anything they can to scare you because they're going to lose so bad that they're like 2025 Hitler. They just say things like it's so fucking stupid. So the 2025 thing is a psyop. So don't, or is either a psyop or just a bullshit scare tactic they're latched onto. It'd be like if I was like, oh my God, the left is launching. Do you know what the left is doing? They're part of the whole Great Reset with Antifa to it's like, well, okay, that might be true, but they're not affiliated 100% with somebody, so you can't say that, but you can if you're on the left. It doesn't make any sense. So it's nothing at this point because most of the things they're saying don't align with things that have been done, and they just don't match up. It's a scary word. It's a scare thing.
I didn't know much about it. I'm reading on it now, and yeah,
it's a scare.
Seems like it is just a scare tactic,
but I get it. I get why it's right to be scared. It's right to be scared of the left and the right. It is. I get it. You should be scared of these people, but I don't think Trump has anything much to do with it. So I'm not scared of it but what's scary about it is if when Trump's done, whenever that is, in 5 years from now, what does that group look like and what are they doing and who are they backing? Then you should be like, okay. I think then you should be a little concerned. I'm like, my eyes are open and I'm looking, but, I don't know. But I get it. It sounds scary. If you've been listening to left-wing stuff, they are banging you over the head with it to scare the shit out of you. Trust me, they are trying to scare you. And it's unbelievable how they've made it work in the past. But you literally have elected Kamala Harris. So I don't, what's scarier than what? Is there anything scarier than all Joe Biden's friends and who he's involved with and all the stuff and Kamala? So come on. These people are all scary. It's all scary. Trump's kind of scary.
It is.
I don't know everything about him that he's done.
So what they're basically saying, a transition of power would lead to another issue. Is that the point here?
I don't know with this 2025 thing. I don't know. It's like a group of it's like a coalition sort of thing, a collection of conservatives with policies and proposals. They're trying to unite people. It's just like the left or just like the right and left and any conglomerate. It's like they're all trying to get people together so they can get stuff done by being on the same page about certain things. It's like a public, hey, let's try to unite the group. It was like when the Tea Party, and they've done all these things in the past. We're the Tea Party, we're all coming together, and we're the MAGA people, and it's like they didn't really. Trump's people didn't really say that. Make America Great Again, But everybody's got a slogan. So this is just another it's not a slogan, but it's a group.
I never said lock her up.
Right. Yeah,
it still cracks me up.
That is funny. I mean,
it's a terrible thing to say. I would never say that.
I don't.
Just like Hogan.
I don't even. I don't remember exactly what he. I don't know if he said those words. I thought he did, but if he didn't say those words, he definitely said that she should be locked up.
No, they had him saying it a bunch of times.
There you go. I know he said she should be locked up. It was just
funny how he was denying it once he was threatened to be put in jail.
Right.
She should. But then you have Biden drooling on himself, and then can't even. It's like sundown moments, saying, "Oh no, he's okay. He was just tired. He was fatigued from being every time at 9 in the morning."
There's an excuse. They're all a mess. And it's really funny. I wish I had the time. If I had the time, I would have loved to go back to that debate and check every time Trump lied or stretched the truth. And then every time Biden lied or stretched the truth, I'll count both of those things. And
I used to have a lot more coverage back in the last election, 2016, and even some of the 2020 election. But
this was just sad,
especially.
This was just sad. It was just
first time.
What the fuck? Whoa!
Shit.
Jake hasn't left yet. What are you doing?
I'm still here.
Oh shit! Oh my god! What the hell? We're behind the paywall.
Yeah, baby.
We're behind the paywall. Wow! Oh my god.
Audio Jungle.
My dick's
Fuck
out.
the paywall. Back to free next week. Fuck Ghost, he told me he was gonna drop multiple big bombs. Fucking piece of shit.
He really told you that?
Welsh.
I think he played you, D. Welsh. He told you that? That's funny. I think he played you. Because he gets off on that kind of shit. Like, he probably is laughing. Like, so
Probably
that you would drop
up.
it. He set you up. My God, D. Welsh, play his song. All right, let's play it. Where's it at? I'll find it, Welsh. By the way, D. Welsh was like, damn, he hates Jews. I was like, dude, it's in his song. Have you heard his song? Yeah, we're behind the paywall, but that ain't
One and
stopping
only.
D. Welsh. $100. Oh my
D.
God.
Welsh, the one and only.
I cannot believe that money came in behind the paywall. Holy fuck.
Hell yeah, baby.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Goddamn right, D. Welsh.
Wow. Thank you, D. Welsh. Well, Jake, you can take off, man, if you want now.
I know. Look at this. Money's coming in. I'm still here.
Yeah, go to bed.
I know. I'll get you more donations behind the paywall. So catchy.
Welsh. Oh yeah, baby, behind the paywall, son of a bitch.
He's going after everybody.
Wow, he's attacking people. You get him, D. Welsh. Unbelievable, D. Welsh.
Oh, God. Look at that.
18 plus behind the paywall.
Here he goes. Watch it go.
This is what you paid for. This is what you paid for.
Yeah, baby. Get that spittle out.
Yeah, spill it all over. Whoa! It wasn't done.
I think it's over.
You think it's over? It's not. Yeah.
Oh my God!
Where's the
brother.
Nielsen?
Yeah, where's the Mr. Nielsen? That's the horse of Pippi Longstocking. That's why I said Mr. Nielsen.
That's why.
Mr.
Hey,
Nielsen.
neighbor.
Pippi, what are you doing?
Man, the
Mr.
only
Ed's
ratings
dead
I
now.
care about are from a man named Nielsen. So I got
I like how it interrupts him. That's
By
I
a
didn't
man
realize-
named Nielsen.
That's funny.
Man, the only ratings I care about
What?
are from a man named Nielsen. So I got
Oh no. I'm sorry, MJF.
I've been going to wrestling shows for over
shit.
30 years. Never in all that time have I ever felt, until last Sunday,
We're behind the paywall.
that my security, my safety, my life was in danger at a wrestling show.
Jake, not even the most flawless hooker will never satisfy me like your adult movies and your hot body does.
Wow.
Ooh.
What the
I want to
fuck?
get real dirty. Damn.
Man, you want to get
Ramon
nasty?
Coronado wants to get dirty over here. Damn.
Corazona.
Getting me spicy.
Well, Ramon, thank you for the $3. And
Hey, if the Hawk Tuah girl can have a career, then I guess anybody can make it on the internet.
I mean, I'm on here. Look at this.
Yeah, but you have talent.
I would argue she might have more than me.
I don't know. If spitting's her only talent, I mean, it's impressive, but
I mean, I guess I can do that too.
exactly. What did we just witness? You spit and swallow.
You're right. You did see what I did. I did more than she did in that street.
Exactly. You did more than just a Hawk Tuah.
That's true. I didn't think about that.
Fuck the Hawk Tuah. You were like, fuck Ewa. And you just
maybe I think I
threw it in their asshole.
It could be that I'm blinded by her like sexualness.
Could be.
You
She
know?
just openly admits to spitting on the street. Imagine explaining that to your family. I'm the Hawk Tuah girl.
Well, you know, I don't even need to do that. Like her family
the
saw
money
her and they were
comes
like, "Is that Ashley? Like, what the fuck?"
Exactly, that's true. Yeah,
Dude.
they saw it before she even knew. It
Dude,
came
I bet
famous.
even like her younger family, like 11, 12-year-old family members started seeing that and was like, "What does that mean?"
Oh yeah. Oh, they know what it means.
Oh yeah. 11-year-olds?
There's some crazy statistic about underage kids watching pornography nowadays.
Oh boy.
They were talking about because they have access to the internet. Like, you know, you and I had to hunt in a dingy forest to find a crumpled magazine maybe that a homeless guy left out somewhere.
Right.
When porn was first revolutionized on the internet, dial-up was literally a thing. So if you wanted to get a photo, it was like,
You're right.
you know, had to load a
And
pixel
even
at a
then,
time
it was
sometimes.
and
You were getting a lot of fakes, and it was cheap, shitty fakes, and then you would have a virus, and your computer would break. You have to tell your mom, be like, I don't know, I thought I downloaded a song, and it was just all porn. I'm sorry, but now they're saying that it's messing up kids' sexual drives because they're being exposed to so much already. I guess Billie Eilish was talking about it, and a few others. They were doing this big campaign, but they were talking about how it affects their...
That's right. Advertise it more, Billie Eilish.
Right? But they were saying it affect their mental status of what to expect out of sex and to get into worse and worse fetishes because they're introduced so young to the normal thing that it becomes vanilla by the time, they're even a couple of years older. And
Wow.
it just, it
I
does
guess
stuff to the psyche.
I don't have an addictive personality, really. I mean, I do in a way, but I don't. So maybe these things don't affect me because I watched crazy shit when I was younger. Not crazy shit, but I watched a lot of shit since, I don't know, maybe I didn't. Maybe we didn't. Maybe because we were staying up at 1995 and 6, I was 10, 11, and 12. And so, 10, 11, and 12, I was staying up to watch HBO. And I can even say the
But
song.
even that was soft core. That
You're
was
right,
never,
yeah.
You never saw penetration. You never saw you would always get
Yeah.
the angles. The girl's blowing him, but you see nothing. You just see her hair. Or the guy's going down on her, but it just looks like his mustache is wiggling. Those when they have sex, it's just the angle. You can tell they're not actually
Right.
doing anything. But we didn't know that then. But like I'm saying, now it's hardcore shit that they can easily click a button to. And even some of the challenges and stuff like that, the Reddit 50-50 and those type of things. Is it a basket of puppies or a basket full of decapitated children's heads? You pick. It's but it's crazy.
You're
what's
right.
out there.
I can remember the song. They were in a movie, a comic book store or something, and the guy's name is Herbie. And this girl comes in and she's like, Herbie, and then she wants to bang him, so she brings him to her, and then makes him do it to her. And as this is going on, you don't see anything, but they're rubbing up on each other and dancing. Dude, the music in the background is like, isn't it a wonder how we can get along? All the world. And so I know that
the
song.
light jazz.
Right. But I know that song by heart. That's how fucking many times I watched it. I've never heard that song in my life before anywhere else. It's from that. Every girl, every boy, and every man, everyone, you've got to understand that it's hard enough. It's like, that's the song, bro, in the scene when they're in the comic book store, and his name is Herbie. Dude, I've looked for this, and I probably have it on VHS somewhere, but I watched that when I was like 11, and that's ingrained in my head. But yeah, you're right. Nowadays, I could watch exactly what I do watch now.
Yeah.
When I was 11, though. You're right.
Finding free porn on the internet at that point, I mean, you could find stuff, but finding it like you do today, it was not easy. Everything was a paid website. Everything was, it was the Wild West of things. Yes, you could find, but it wasn't like you had YouPorn and, those type of, Pornhub, all those kind of things. There wasn't a place to upload stuff to like that. There wasn't any. You had to pay, you had like the lesbian houses and stuff like that would, charge $10 a video. That was all there was. And eventually, things changed. But like I said, what they can get access to now is insane.
Right.
At such a young age, too, is what's really the I guess, issue. And how many parents are just letting their iPads raise their kids. Yeah, they banned Pornhub in a few areas. North Carolina, Texas had issues with porn, right?
Wait, who had issues?
North Carolina, Texas, they banned pornography.
Texas banned pornography?
Yeah, they
what?
Banned something.
I've been going to wrestling shows for over 30 years. Never in all that time have I ever felt until last Sunday that my security, my safety, my life was in danger at a wrestling show.
I don't get youth nowadays. The more porn I watched, the more sex I wanted to have, to point I was getting hookers every week. Watching porn increased my sex drive.
Yeah, I'm trying to give the benefit of the doubt that like there really is some kind of problem or something. Ramon Coronado, thank you so much, man, for the donations.
Really quick before we miss it, it was the reasonable age verification measure that was instated this year in Texas and a few other states. So basically you have to provide your ID to prove that you're old enough to watch porn. So people are using like VPNs and stuff to get around it, but
right, but that's fine. I mean, that's at least the kid can't type in like right now, like, oh, let me, I don't know.
Kids can, but they can. That's what they're saying. That's the issue, is that it's just so easily available.
Well,
and readily available.
I guess I meant like younger kids that would really want to get to. If you really want to get to it, fine. But like, at least like, what I'm saying, like 10-year-olds and, a lot of them aren't going to be like, I'm going to go to that site right now. They would be like, oh, I can't get on it because I'm not, whatever. I'll move on. I don't know. Is it really going to help? I don't know. But I know that here's the thing. I know that at 8 years old, 7 and 8 years old, we would sneak under my friend up the street's father's bed and pull out his magazines. And these magazines were like Swank. And like the ones where it's going in and there's cream and there's shots. And
yeah.
All that stuff all over the place. And I didn't really get, when I saw those things, I didn't really get it. I was like, I just thought it was.
Oh, I'm right there with you. Like
it's
some
like
of
a
the
visual
magazines and shit. I used to tell you, my father kept all the porn in the magazine rack in the bathroom. So it'd be like, Guinness Books of World Records and then like stacks of fetish porn.
Yeah. And I just saw it as like, I thought it was like a visual dressing or something. And as an 8-year-old, I just looked at it and went, whoa, cool. Like, anyway,
I was 10 seeing all that stuff, and I was like, I don't see how that's what you're supposed to do. That doesn't seem right.
I guess I got it, but I didn't care, if that makes any sense. Like I saw and was like, ugh, like whatever. Okay, like yo, what the fuck's that? I'm good with that.
Well, I knew it was going on, but I didn't see the enjoyment of people
At
getting
8,
pissed
I didn't.
on.
I didn't get it. At 8, I did not get it. I was seeing it, but I didn't get it, and I just moved on. I didn't. I just thought people being weird. I don't know what that is. But like when I was 10 or 11, then I got it. 10 and 11, I got it, but I didn't want to really get it and didn't really fully get it, but I got it.
I knew that sex was early, and
I bet you did.
Very early, like first grade-ish times.
Yep.
And even knowing it, like I just didn't understand
because of the teacher
how that would be enjoyable and shit. Well, yeah, we got her fired, but
I was kidding. But if you're serious,
I'm still in love.
Wait, oh really? What was her name?
Yeah, Mrs. Sprouse.
Mrs. Come-A-Lot.
No, Mrs. Sprouse.
I have a friend
that got away.
Oh, are you joking or like I can't tell?
No, really. I wanted her bad.
You were molested?
No. The teacher just took one look at me naked and laughed.
Oh, okay. Because I have another friend who was molested by a teacher in first grade.
Really? See, that's some fucked up shit.
Yep. And he, I'll tell you, man.
I only went down at my teacher.
That would be cool. That'd be great. That's
how my high school teacher got fired. I didn't sleep with her, but several seniors did.
Nobody, I don't think they love freedom either, Jfinity. But they do love. You know what it is, Jfinity. That's a bad argument to make about the right. You know what I mean? Because, an 8-year-old looking at naked people, and also like killing babies. I don't think those are the things that you should go after the right wing for. I would go after the right wing for their overcorrection of books banning and their overcorrection of things. Like the right has an overcorrection to a lot of things that's very bad, right? The left has some weird shit and the right has some weird shit, and they both have this overcorrection that is terrible, and they shouldn't do it. But I don't know if this is not an overcorrection to me. It's them trying to figure out a way to protect young kids, right? But
I get that.
But here's the problem. Does this mean
if you're going to have somebody sleep with a student, though, they're just going to do it.
But right, regardless. But does this mean a 14-year-old can't look them up now? Because at 8, I'm telling you, at 7 and 8 years old, I looked at those magazines, and at 10 and 11 years old, I had VHSs from HBO.
And that could be why you're a demented bastard.
Maybe that's why
twisted, sick fuck.
I think it helped me. I think it helped me know how to do things. I think that I blossomed.
I think that hindered me more.
Really? Okay, so it's going to be different
all that
for everybody.
fetish stuff that he had with him, like I didn't see the pleasure in any of it. So to me, it was more like, oh, that doesn't seem like it'd be good.
Right.
Like I was aware of sex, but all the extracurriculars that go with it, bondage, fucking golden showers, things of that nature.
I'm down for all of it if it happens, but it's got to be the girl's got to bring that up.
My father was a real freak, but
I hope he let you watch.
I caught them more than once.
God. Well, see, that's what might have hindered you.
That too. Well,
I think that's what hindered you. I think if you were watching things on your own, if you wanted to, that would have been different. But seeing that in person of your family, that's fucking
You'll
crazy.
think I'm exaggerating, but I'm not. I went downstairs to get a glass of milk to drink, and they were doing it on the kitchen table.
That's awesome.
Right?
I mean, not really. Not
for a once
kid,
has Danny caught us or been ever able to catch us having sex. You know what I mean? Like, maybe the door wasn't locked or something, but it wasn't anywhere out in the open where the kid's going to walk around the corner. But, hey.
Yeah, we've had,
there's a bunch of stories that fuck up all of us.
Somebody walked in sometime a long time ago, but, the door was already locked, so they had to, fidget with it, and then they had to bust it open and be like, I'm hungry, whatever they said, whatever was going on. But by then, it's we're under the covers and stuff. So it's no one ever, whatever. But a lot of people walk in on their parents as kids, or something happens and they catch something. But, to be blatant about it is, weird. That's bizarre to not.
It was a power move for him. He was an abusive asshole, so that was, one of his.
That's why you're so gay.
That's exactly it. I was trying to think back now about being caught for sex. The only time I can even remember being was my ex-girlfriend in high school. I had her bent over the bed fingering her, and right when she came, her little brother walked in the door, and she was like, I don't know quite what he saw, but he could have told mom and dad enough to get us in trouble, per se. So thankfully, she just kind of yelled at him to get out, and nothing was even mentioned of it. But
he goes down to breakfast and goes, Mom, Dad, I don't know what was going on, but like her boyfriend was up there doing the thing Dad does to her. Imagine
it's the same thing I see Dad do every week on the couch.
That's how the wife finds out that the daughter's being molested by Dad.
Well, in this family, the wife might have already known. She might be watching. You never know.
God,
that's not too shocking. So I scarred the little brother, just like, it's just a cycle that repeats itself.
You did. You're just like your dad, you piece of shit.
I had to be. I had to, had to scar. Well, what makes it even worse?
That explains why you voted for Biden the first time, you fucking pedophile fuck.
Oh, my God.
You know what? Leah and you should hook up with Leah.
Oh, God. Now we got to trade wives?
Sure.
3 years ago, different story. Now with Courtney, I'm making you make a tape.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah.
I'm getting something out of that. If that's going down, I'm making something out of it.
That's right. I should have jumped 3 years ago.
You should have could have made a relationship out of it.
Honestly, though, man, I'm getting attacked quite often. Like, I think the drive is going up because she's approaching 40. Don't women, like, when they...
Yeah, they have their later sexual, like, peak.
It's like at 38 or something, and Leah's...
Yeah, it's much later in life, as where guys is, typically anywhere from, like, 18 to 20.
Oh, God, it's probably... You think? Yeah, it's like 18.
That's at least from
18, 25.
I've seen.
Yeah, but you're right. You're right. Young, very young guys.
Mm-hmm.
Young guys.
Guys, it's usually like not long after puberty, only a few years after. Women, it takes something like up to 20 years post-puberty. So like you said, 35, 38, in that range.
You know what I used to do? I used to shoot a load to Pink Floyd The Wall when they take their shirts off and run into the trucks.
There you go.
It's so weird, bro. They run into the trucks and they're all meeting there to drink wine or whatever, and like it's such a weird thing. And I paused the video on the women. It's like, what the hell? Like we did have to go through fucking hell. Like, oh, I need a dirty woman. I need a dirty girl. And I'm pausing it then and I'm going, oh yeah.
Dirty girl. Yeah, I'm trying to think back. No, I think that was... Oh, no, I wasn't caught, but I got caught after the fact. Same ex. She was staying over my house, and we both took a shower together.
Oh.
And my mom had knocked on the door and been like, and I had just been like, oh, I'll be out in a minute kind of idea. And when I went out, I had myself like wrapped in the towel, and I thought I grabbed my shirt and shorts. So when I went to go put my shirt on, I was putting her shirt on, and my mom just looked at me, looked back, and walked away. It was kind of like, I know, you'll deal with this another time. But I didn't get in trouble for it. So I lucked out.
We'll figure it out next time, Mom.
Yeah, right? We can...
Wait, did you say the hard right, Jay Finity?
Ooh.
Jay Finity, the hard... Are they all hard? I don't think they're hard. I think the hard right are the ones that are closet gay. They're the ones that are like, gay, whatever... But they're looking for cock.
They're the ones slobbing the most knob.
Right. We're not talking about the ones that are like sick of the woke people and stuff. That's fine. But we're talking about the ones that really don't like gay people.
They're at the pride parades yelling about how this is immoral for children, even though they just went ahead and made 3 children swallow their cum.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
I mean,
there is something wrong with those pride parades. Some of them, though. I will say that. That's weird.
There was that pastor that was putting semen into his beverages, and they're out there.
Ugh. Yeah, it's kind
like one of the big sellers right now is the
Bullfrog
drink
is a
cozies.
moron.
Oh shit!
Shiver me, Joe.
You guys absolutely right about watching porn young. I remember going to my friend's house at 6 years old. He turned on the TV to watch wrestling and porn was on. Long story short, that day I found out that not everyone has dicks to piss out of. Lol.
Wow, that's early too, man. Ramon Coronado. Dude, my first self pop was 10. Like, I feel like you popped at 6. That's creepy.
So this is going to sound horrible in every way, but this story gets better at the end. So we're all hanging out at my buddy Joe's house, and he's maybe 2 years younger than me. So I'm like close to 16. He's like 14, around that. And all of my friends are hanging out. We're there because his dad works at the bar on Thursdays and isn't going to be home. So he comes downstairs with a VHS. He was gone for like 10 minutes, and he came down and he's like, "Oh, I found one of my dad's tapes. Let's check it out." And they're all of us being, teenagers, young, stupid. I was maybe a little bit younger, maybe like 15. So we're all like giddy laughing, gonna be like, "Oh yeah, you're gonna play, we're gonna see if he's got porn." So right when we put it on, it's a guy and a girl going at it missionary, and we kind of laugh for a second, and then all of a sudden, like the VHS, how it does like the swivel when you tape over something?
Yeah.
That porn kind of faded out, and then a second later, you just saw feet on the ankles like this.
Yeah.
And ramming. And he's like, "Oh, yeah. Oh, Steve." And the camera pans out, and then this guy is just blasting this other guy in the ass. And all of us are fucking dying. We're like, "Your dad's gay. Oh, my God. Your dad loves cock." Like, he did not live that down.
Oh, my God.
Ever. I don't know. He went and
because it like overran into something else that he didn't know about, probably. But
so I think it was I think he taped the gay porn over the original regular porn.
Well, that's weird. Then he might be gay.
That's what I'm saying. So because the original tape was there, and then it was like, oh, this got taped over, and because every now and again it would do a little quick jump back. So. He claims to have like searched for other porn and found like gay magazines and stuff.
Oh, Steve!
To this day, I still swear he's gay.
That's hot. Now this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about.
I didn't say it either though, but the thing that was like the main issue too. My ex's parents used to let me stay over there all the time because they thought my best friend John was her boyfriend and I was her gay best friend.
Really?
That lie got me to stay over at my girlfriend's house for almost 2 years straight. I could sleep in her room as a teenager, like all this shit. I didn't care if I had a little bit of a lisp to go down for breakfast. That story held fast for years. Got me a lot of poon. But yeah, they weren't going to let, the boyfriend stay over. And I don't even know how that came to be as like some sort of joke thing. I was like, "Oh, just tell him I'm gay." And then from there it worked. And
now you got to keep up with that. And next thing you know, like 2 years later, I'm pregnant.
Right? Yeah, if only. Not with that one.
You just be like, "Well, I thought I was gay, but then your daughter,
That's the one that cheated on me in my bed with my best friend there. Former best friend.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was the one that.
That's fucking crazy, dude. I told you Bobby came up from Florida with some hoochie, and she was so hot. It was unbelievable. And this was during my I was sad over my ex-girlfriend, and I was banging everything that moved. And he went to the shower to take a shower, and left me in the room with her, which is kind of weird. But she was like, immediately when he was gone, she changed from being quiet and like looking around and just being quiet, and then all of a sudden she turned into like, "Give me your dick, like let me suck on it."
Yeah, because then it's a game because you can get caught and there's the risk. And
she was like, "Let me suck on it. I'll do it right now. Do me," and whatever. It was almost like she wanted to get caught though, because because I was thinking to myself, like, we do this. I could be doing you for 20 minutes. He's gonna come back while we're what are we doing? Yeah, and really. So I don't know, but that was what I was thinking for a second. But I immediately backed off, and it was like the only time ever almost that I backed off something. And I was like, "No," because you were with my friend or whatever. And then she went on my computer to look at her MySpace, and I came back to sit down after they left, and I looked at my laptop, and there was hundreds of messages to random guys. "I'll be in Boston, and I don't know the area, and I'm looking to meet people. You look sexy," and stuff like that. And which it all sounds like a bot, but it's not. She's really sending people these things on MySpace. It was fucking crazy. Like, I couldn't believe it. And I was talking to Bobby about this the other night, and he was like, "You should have just banged her, or whatever." And I'm like, "No."
Now you say that.
I'm like, "No, dude, that's no way." I was like, "But I should have, like, involved you in it somehow. But I would have had to talk to you first." So what I really should have done is I should have excused us for a second, And I should have said, dude, like, she's trying to do me. Has she done you yet? Because what come to find out, I assumed that they were doing it constantly. But I found out that they hadn't done it. And that he had tried a couple times, and she kind of like wasn't going for it. So that's even worse. That's bad.
Yeah,
that's real bad.
That's a real peculiar shit show.
And then he told me that then she did it with him the last night, right before she left. So
just to cross it off her bucket list and screw it up with his head. You know?
I'm assuming it's that and the awkwardness, maybe, like to wait to. So I don't know. I don't know what the reason of holding him up that long was, but
some type of power dynamic. She knew he wanted it.
Maybe that's what it was. Very weird. It was. I would love to have interviewed her about it. But
Alex in the chat said you should have banged her. Your friend probably would have cheered you on and been cool with it. Yeah, Bobby.
No, I mean, I don't know. Actually, I don't even remember now. I almost think he did say that, yeah, he would have been upset. I feel like he did say he would have been upset, but I feel like another time he was drunk and we were talking and he said, no, you should have done that. You should have done it anyway. And, no, I think
it's amazing when you find things out like way after the fact and you're like, really? That's what that was?
I did tell him to watch out for her. I was like, dude, I opened up her MySpace and he was like, oh. But I didn't tell him about the thing with me, but I told him about she's like, it's weird. I told him about the MySpace stuff because I was like, that's crazy. Be careful.
Fucking MySpace. Oh, God.
And he just said, oh, wow, yeah, she's kind of like that, I guess. And I'm like, okay. And that was it. But at least I gave him the heads up. But yeah, I wouldn't have done that to him. And certainly if it was his girlfriend of long standing, even more so would have been, no, you don't do that.
I destroyed bro code. So Courtney was one of my good friends.
Wait, you did it too?
Yeah, he was pretty.
What the hell?
Didn't talk to me for a long time. They had been broken up for a long time, and she was out of the picture. And then her and I were good friends for a long time, and then it just progressed into.
It's like what you did with me with Tommy C. I'm watching him all day.
Yeah, exactly. I gotta stay up with my drama.
Piece of shit. The fuck? Why don't you go fuck Boogie, scumbag?
Because I don't know if he's dying of cancer or not. I got to find out the truth now. He won't admit it. That kills me too, because it's like
he's dying of a broken heart.
If Boogie's really been lying this entire time about having cancer, oof. I mean, they kind of had him dead to rights tonight. Keem went ahead and said people had put up big bucks. Mr. Medicare was even on the call, and he put up big bucks saying, right now, Boogie, you show your medical info that proves you have this diagnosis, and you'll get, I think it was up to like $50,000. For someone that just scammed people for $10,000 with that coin bullshit, you figure he'd be desperate for money. Why would you not prove it? Now suddenly he doesn't want to show his medical records because that's the only bit of privacy he has to himself. But he said a few weeks ago he was going to send them. So
I think this is all Keem's idea to help relaunch his drama alert because he's relaunching it. So I think
he's going back on YouTube. So
I think it's all.
I don't know though, because the fallout from this is going to be severe. I mean, if people,
I'm not saying it's not real. I'm saying I think it is. He really
that Keem knew beforehand and just amplified
and just
it.
said, I'm going to
Now
and
here's
Boogie
what
wants
might
to
prove
use
your theory. You might be right that this was a plan on Keem's part because Keem had a surprise caller show up, which was the streamer Destiny, and he was the one that went at Boogie with all of the medical information in hand. He had studied whatever the hell it is, polycythemia, the blood cancer that Boogie says he has. And apparently they're saying Boogie's symptoms, treatments, everything lines up with the non-cancerous one. And the cancerous version is not what he has. So Keem came out and said, my thought is you got the diagnosis initially from the doctor, looked on Google, saw that it deals with blood cancer. You freaked out. You went ahead, you made the video, and then a few weeks later you found out, oh, that's not the kind I have. I do have that, but I don't have the cancer kind. But for the last 2 years, you've told everybody I'm dying of cancer, and you couldn't stop the lie now. And Keem had a few people waiting to call in and challenge him. So it might have been a plan. You might be right.
I think I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna go on to maybe tomorrow, and I'm gonna make a video saying like I'm dying. And here's why.
That's why I don't try and always bring up medical stuff often. And that was part of my problem too, because people are always like, "Get well, feel better," and you're not going to get better. And so much shit has happened.
But you're not dead either, so they're like, "Oh, you're not."
No, certainly. But so much shit has happened, and then at times.
No, but I mean, like
really?
that makes them. They're
Really?
like, "Oh, you're fine. This guy's always milking something."
Well, that too. Yeah, it comes with both sides of it.
Right.
So
until you go away
you're
for
either,
2 years,
you're not sick enough, or you're too sick, and you can't win either which way. But like I said, in hindsight, learning things different. My mother, that whole time where she got her wedding covered and paid for and all that, telling people she had brain cancer allegedly, and was just to get her wedding paid for. I thought all these years, like, oh, that was the case, and I didn't go to her and my father's wedding. I got emancipated not long after. And come to find out, it was actually all because of an assault thing on my father's side. So when my mother was pregnant, she was going to be having a girl, and he ended up giving her a ride on Yield Abortion Clinic and sent her down the stairs. She lost the baby, and she also had a bad contusion or something to her head. And when she had gone to church following that, people were asking her about the head wound. And I guess she panicked and didn't want to say her husband's abusive. So she said, "Oh, I'm going for treatment." And then it just spiraled from there,
Right.
So little eggs, little things, but it's just stuff you never knew, and you felt a certain way for so many years. And you're like, oh, now it's another way, So I don't know how Boogie can crawl his way out of this one. I think he really fucked himself. He might have had it planned, though. The more you saying that really kind of, the light bulb went off, because like I said, he had people pinned, ready to call in. So
yeah, we're wrestling fans. It's a work.
Very well could
or
be,
it's not a work. It's real, but they're all in agreement.
I think it's real, and
let's use it. Let's do it.
Yeah, I think that it's turned into a thing.
But I think he likes that. I literally think he doesn't mind if he does something terrible. He likes to then say, "I'm sorry, I fucked up." He loves to do that, and they know that. So it's like, dude, they all know. Oh my God, he's a cash cow. He is his Tommy NC at this point, to me, kind of like a shit show. That's what it is. That's why he's talking to him, because he's a shit show, and they all make money off it. It's great.
I know you've tried to support Boogie over the years and talk to him for stuff. Same here, and
I just thank him, because I wouldn't have done the donation stuff if I hadn't seen him doing it before. He was doing it like one of the first ever people to have donations was Boogie, and not a lot of other people were doing it at all, and most people didn't know what it was. They were like, "What the fuck's that?" And I started doing it very, very early on, and it's because of him. And we wouldn't be here maybe.
I remember when it started.
So anyway, I guess we'll wrap it up.
Yeah, I was just very taken aback by hearing that with him, because it sucks to be lying to that many people about something like that, but we'll see what comes of it. If there's any proof one way or another, Joe.
And then he's really gonna get it. It'll be Boy Who Cried Wolf.
Yeah, right. Ugh.
All right, good night, baby.
I don't know. Hey, you stay sexy. Everybody, thank you so much for being awesome in the chat tonight. We'll see you all soon.
Jake DeMarco, Joe Cronin. I don't know why I did that. I'm sorry. Okay. Thank you guys for supporting us behind the paywall. I'm sorry. Well, I'm sorry that we didn't do more paywall shows the last couple of weeks. It's been crazy. I'm not even going to get into it. But the bottom line is we haven't done a lot. But thank you. And we were here to do this. And big thank you. Let's check the poll out before we go. A big thank you to D. Welshman behind the paywall. Drops $100. That was a big help, man. Thank you, D. Welsh. I probably could have done this live tonight for free on the main channel, because maybe we would have gotten a lot of donations or something. Maybe not. Maybe I don't even know anymore. But we had to do it behind the paywall. So thank you for coming behind the paywall to watch this or pay for it or whatever you did. Whether you're a member for $1, $5, patron. There's a lot of big dog patrons, $50, $20, $10, $5, and a lot of $1 out there. So whatever you do and whatever you are, thank you for that. Did you like Dynamite? 42% said okay. 10% said awesome. So overall, it's a thumbs up, barely, I guess. And overall, it's a definite thumbs up from the people that did watch it. 28% didn't watch it, so that doesn't factor into loving it or hating it. So you know what it is. Thank you to Jake for being here tonight. He did great. Really steered the ship. And Ramon Coronado for the donations. Arushin Chu for becoming a 46-month member. And again, D. Welsh, man, dropping that big $500. I mean, the big $100. What the fuck is wrong with me, man? I'm like falling asleep, guys. I'm sorry. I'm like, am I that tired? I work 3 jobs. Oh my God, guys. I'm taking on more hours at work, so it's so crazy right now. Thank you guys so much for being here. I'll catch you Saturday night for Monetize This for sure. And I don't know about before that, but you know. Hopefully my new job, my goal and not my is that my new hours and my new position in my job, hopefully I can really do, maybe I can kick ass. And then if that's the case, I'm going to leave my other deal and then I can put more time into YouTube. That could be really cool. That might actually happen maybe, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm trying to do that so I can be on YouTube again more. But in order to do that, I have to make an extraordinary amount of money at my other job. And if I can do that, then I can cut one of my other ones, and then I can work full-time somewhere else, only 30 hours, or 20 hours even. And then I can work YouTube 20 hours, and then I cut my hours from 70 hours a week to 40 hours a week, and hopefully I make more money. But I don't know if I can do that, but I'm trying. I'm going to try really hard to do that. So hopefully that happens so we can do more shows again and put more effort into this. And that's it. We'll see you guys. I don't know, but maybe not till Saturday. Thanks for being here to support it. Thanks, J Swiss. D Welsh. Thank you. Let's play the outro. I'm going to play the big outro. Big outro. Big out of nowhere outro. Do it up.
This is war. This is war out of nowhere. This is gone. So much at stake. Now they try about the game.
Well, give me a different one. Give me a different one. Give me this one. Yeah, give me this one. Look at this. Look at this one, guys. D. Welsh.